that one.
Bastard.
It's right
Dude,
there.
whenever I try to sleep down here, oh my god,
no.
it is the most excruciating thing ever, dude.
I would so I don't think you've ever seen the Nutcracker, but like
I haven't. I need to.
Okay. So
I want to watch the ballet.
It's beautiful and amazing.
I've heard, yeah.
But like right before the clock strikes midnight and all the weird shit happens, you can hear the sound. So whenever I hear it, like the ticking of a clock like that,
it reminds you of
it's the Nutcracker.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
All right. Hey fam, what's
Howdy.
up?
What's up, everybody?
It's the BLT Podcast.
We've returned.
Yes, and it's Chillcast Day.
We're hanging.
I figure I was thinking about what do we talk about? I was like, you know what? It's the end of the summer. Let's just chill.
Let's drink a little whiskey.
Yeah,
Let's just
I'm
relax.
drinking water.
Yeah, it's all right, you know.
Actually, I think I left my water bottle upstairs.
Each to their own. Yeah.
Whatever, it's fine.
I brought a whole bottle of whiskey. We can share it, you know.
There we go. Yeah. So, I'd say it was a good summer. It was just not a productive summer for me.
Facts. Yeah, I completely agree.
I had a ton of fun, and I was like, I went to the beach a lot. I went to a couple baseball games, and I was like, I did absolutely nothing to better my life.
Yeah, no, I literally did nothing. I quit my job and then just did nothing but play video games. And now, I've got a job now. At the end of August, I'm starting.
Oh wait, where are you working? I didn't know this. It's been a couple of weeks since I've
seen
you guys.
No, yeah. I'm working in a middle school in Stowe. In a it's kind of like the Flex program at the Westwood High.
Yes, it is.
It's essentially the Flex program for middle schoolers.
I was in Flex. I loved it.
Me too, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking right, man.
Yeah.
Flexers for life, bud. But yeah.
That dog, Otis. So
Otis?
good.
Yeah,
having that
man.
therapy dog was a game changer in the middle of the day.
Right,
You're
dude.
just so stressed beyond all belief. And
You just walk in there and Otis is just
he was so sweet. I love that dog.
He was a cutie pie, dude.
Yeah.
I do love Otis, man. Good dog.
But yeah, that's awesome. That'll be good.
Man. No, it'll be fun, man. And it's definitely better than, because I know, after working in it, I never want to work in, a corporate environment ever again in my entire life.
Yeah.
That was terrible. And, I was thinking, man, what profession ever could I not work in a corporate environment? You know what I mean? It's all kind of corporate stuff. And then, bada bing, bada boom, and it hit me. I was like, schools, you know?
Yeah.
And when I'd gone to college, I had originally wanted to be a school psychologist. That was the goal. And, now I'm coming full circle. Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to get my master's at the same time too.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
What I guess this is going to be a school talk, but what schools are you looking at?
Nothing in particular as of right now, to be honest. I want to get my job and then
see if they'll pay for it.
That's the thing, man. I was reading in my contract, I saw a little something about tuition reimbursement. I was like, ooh, sounds good for me, man.
Would you so I guess around here then?
Yeah, probably around here. And because around here, the schools are really good for it. You know what I mean?
This, for education in general, this is the best area to be.
Oh, my God. Mass is really great when it comes to education, man. Yeah. They do a great job.
It's kind of funny for me to think about, so I grew up mostly in Attleboro, and that's, it's not a horrible school system, but it's not good.
Yeah, I wouldn't say reputable, yeah.
Right. It's not like Westwood with their blue fucking ribbon.
They're just shove it in your face all the time.
It's a fine school system. The people I know from there are relatively intelligent.
Right.
Rebecca's from there. She's
right.
She's smart.
Cookie.
She's really smart.
Absolutely.
So, it's not a bad school system, but our bad school systems leaps and bounds better than some of the rest of the country. And I'm wait, how?
Right? Seriously, a bad school here is a great school, in Georgia. You know what I mean?
It's that hurts my heart when I think about it. I'm wait, why are these kids missing out on?
I know, right? And you think it's because, and we are a little spoiled, you know, in terms of our education, because what we think is the most basic shit is people don't even get it, you know, books in a classroom, you know what I mean?
That was something Attleboro, we never had enough books in the classroom, you would share it, or you didn't have one to take home kind of thing.
Right.
But some schools they just
don't even have the books.
They don't even
have the
literally
books. Pass one around, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, no, it is.
These kids deserve so much
better.
They
do,
than that,
man.
so.
Seriously, they deserve a lot more than that. Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, man. So, turn it around.
You and I both trying to get our masters.
Yeah,
here.
man. Yeah, dude.
Meanwhile, I'm over here I'm gonna go to Orange County.
Yeah, right. Get the hell out of here, man.
Here's the thing,
it's fucking cold.
It's not just it's in Orange County. Oh, it's where my friends are. It's truly the film industry is in Southern California. Mm-hmm. Everyone can say Hollywood East is up and running someday now, and I'm no, but the work will never be here,
right?
Because you can't film here First of all, streets are way too small to film anything ever. Like, maybe 1 or 2 productions.
Couple boulevards here or there, but other than that.
Or, like, a show, that works, fine, because you can make it look like it, or if you need to be on a street, you can block off the street.
Right.
In Boston for, like, a day.
Yeah.
You can't have a full production, like, in the middle of Boston.
Right.
Or anywhere in New England. First of all...
The city would implode.
That. You can't... Because we have too many fucking one-way streets.
Yo, seriously. It's like the poorest infrastructure.
It's not even that. It's just, like... It's too small. It's too, like, it's not made for that. It's too cold to have your equipment out there. It will freeze.
Right. So, that's true, too, yeah.
Indie productions are fine. But in order to thrive and, like, actually live in Boston, you cannot be an indie filmmaker. I'm sorry.
No, certainly not. You're not making a cut there, man.
Yeah, like, you really gotta be, like, the best indie filmmaker you've ever fucking seen.
You've had to have probably gotten your break out west and then moved east, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like, or, you know, you come from a family with money.
Exactly. So. Precisely, yeah. Mm-hmm. Which neither of us are that.
Nope.
That's not us, bud.
Average Joe over here.
Yeah, seriously, like, man.
Yeah. So, I would be looking in probably Southern California.
Right. So. That'd be cool, man. Mm-hmm. Best of luck to you, dude.
Right? Like, it'll be fun. I'm just gonna try. I don't even know... and get in. I don't even know if I'll fully do it.
Right.
I have a pretty good job right now. Your girl just got a raise.
Hey,
so
there you go. Fucking right.
Yeah, it's not even like review time, and my boss pulls me aside, and I was like, "Hey, now this is awesome."
Okay, I see you, boss.
Okay, let's be real. It's like $1.50 more.
Still though,
it's still something.
That adds up,
man. What the heck? Yeah.
That shit adds up.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
so.
That's an extra fucking. It's actually like $15 a day, roughly. No, not 15. Is it? Yeah, it is. No, you're right. Yeah. Fuck, good for you, dude.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's awesome.
That was the thing where I was like, oh, I'm like thinking about getting my master's, and then you guys give me a raise. Like,
yeah. Well, you trying to keep me here or something, or what? Are you reading my mind, or?
It's the kind of thing where it's like, yes, it is. It's an entry level job, so I like my job. I don't mind it. There's like all these good things about it, but I'm like, is this the company I see myself with for the rest of my life?
Right.
The answer is no.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. It's all about, you know, what's going to get you where you want to be.
Yeah, and honestly, like, so the path that I'm going down where it's like film archive and like the critical studies side of it, if I become a writer, I can then be the stay-at-home artist I've always wanted to be.
There you go, dude.
Because I just never, it's not even like I am an introvert, but it's not like I never want to leave my house. It's that I don't like leaving my house for X amount of hours a day.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. I'd rather just be hanging out, you know? Because, like, here I can make food, I can do, you know what I mean? It's just the simple shit, you know?
I don't want a boss to tell me what to do.
Yeah, that's another thing, too, man. You know? Fuck that. I hate getting told what to do. That shit sucks.
I know, yeah. No. Although, I literally wore, like, this to work today.
Which isn't bad.
Which is fine. I'm if you can't see, I'm wearing leggings and a hoodie. Like,
yeah.
And I was fine. So
yeah, right.
It's not like I'm in, like, some suit and tie, like, corporate environment.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Which, when I worked at Disney, like, given I was wearing, like, a costume, like, being in the parks, I hated it. I was like, oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you were all buttoned up and everything, right?
Well, it's not even that. It's just, like, I got in trouble for the littlest thing. Like, I knew what my, what Disney look is supposed to be.
Right.
And I followed that. And then I would still, like, something was always, like, not show ready for them. And I was like, guys, like, this is fine, so.
Fuck. That's terrible.
And some people can do it, and they don't mind it, and they love it. And I'm like, good on you. Yeah, not for me.
Good for you, man. Yeah.
Like, Grace is down there right now, and she's, like.
What's her, like, sector? Like, what's her thing?
What do you mean? She's merchandise. So
is she?
Yeah, she's doing the same thing I did.
Got you. Okay, all right. Yeah. Got you.
So she's in the stores in, Hollywood Studios.
Nice.
She's gonna be so busy.
I know, dude.
Galaxy's Edge, man.
Like, right, yeah. She's fucked.
She likes retail though.
She's good at it too.
She likes fast-paced retail environment.
Well, she's always been good with customers because I worked one job with her at that roster place, and we only worked a shift together like maybe once or twice because our boss didn't want us to work together. But
that store was still there.
Me too, dude.
Love that store.
That store was fantastic. I loved that place.
But yeah, Grace is good with customers, and
she's great with customers.
Yeah.
She's like, you know, she hates people, but she's great with customers.
Yeah, like, I'd say I'm mediocre with customers.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can do my job and do it effectively, I just am not going to go above and beyond. Like, I was not a good magic maker.
No.
Let me put it that way. Like, for Disney, they're like, oh, engage with the guests. And, like, I'm literally trying to ring out, like, a $300 purchase. My brain is not math focused, so I'm going to need to focus.
Yeah, I'm going to need to look at this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to need to focus on this
I really did try, and it was just, like, not my thing. It was just fine, and, like, again, everyone's got their thing. So
right,
it's
exactly,
like, whatever.
dude. I'm not a math brain either, you know? Mm-mm. Not for me.
Numbers, like, make my head hurt.
Yeah, right? Seriously.
Oh, I try so hard, and I know it's, like, quintessential to, like, money and, like, finance, and I'm just like,
Yeah, right? Seriously, dude. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I think I would rather do basic algebra than anything regarding finances, though.
Oh, yeah.
I hate finances. Mm-mm. It's terrible.
No, you know what?
Budgeting.
You know what I'm really good at is geometry and trig.
Oh, really?
Because I can see it.
Right. Ah, yeah, I see what you mean. Right.
Yeah.
Geometry's cool. I just, yeah. Like, I liked it, don't get me wrong, but I never, like, full-fledged got into it, you know?
I mean, mind you, I'm also the person who took not pre-calc, but intro to pre-calc.
Yeah,
my
there you
senior
go.
year of high school. So if you want to know how, like, good at trig and geometry I actually am, it's, like, right there.
Yeah, that's a great benchmark.
Well, here's the thing, too, though. Like, so you have to be good at algebra 2 to do, like, the pre-calc and everything else.
Right.
Whereas I'm like, no, like, keep giving me geometry classes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
the
yeah,
triangles,
yeah.
guys, the triangles.
Shapes, man, shapes.
Shapes. I'm visually brained. I need to be able to see it.
Polygons, man.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Although, once you start getting into, like, using pi to calculate circles, I'm like, goodbye.
Fuck off, dude. I hate pi.
It's a lot.
That's where you lose me is, like, circles. Why is there no hard lines here?
Yeah.
Where are the angles?
But, okay, so speaking of I can see it, though, I suck at physics.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
when you do the formulas for that, it's more algebra than it is actually seeing it, because a lot of it's conceptual, especially, like, I was, like, when Stephen King died, not Stephen King. Stephen Hawking.
I was like, Stephen King's dead? What?
I'm so sorry.
I just had a heart attack.
I'm so sorry.
God.
I confused those two.
Oh my God, man.
Stephen Hawking passed away. I was like, oh, I feel like an idiot for mixing those up. I'm like, damn. That was a real bad brain fart. But I was like, oh, I know he was a physicist, but I don't quite know what he did.
Right.
So let me try and read his book, A Brief History of Time. I was like, oh, you're talking about basic physics, and I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah. I can't even follow you.
I tried so hard to read it. And
really?
I was just like, I really can't do this. This is above my pay grade.
You have it? I might borrow that
I have
from
it,
you.
yeah. I still haven't read that psychology book you gave me.
Oh, you would love that book.
Well, I was like, oh, I'm going to read it on the beach this summer. And then I was like, it's not my book. I don't want to get sunscreen on it.
I wouldn't have cared, but I know what you mean. I'm exactly the same way. I like,
that's not
if you give me that book, I'm literally just going to, like, wear, like, rubber gloves when I read it. You know what I mean?
Like, I think I highlighted a few things, maybe being like, you should look this up later. No.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. No, I don't really, yeah. Me and physics were never, like, close pals. Like, I was decent in most of my science classes, but that was the only one I ever fucking really wasn't good at.
I don't know why. Like, I just can't grasp it.
Yeah.
Something about it, my brain is like, no,
There were, like, certain things I just really couldn't get. Like, the one thing I was decent at was, like, friction. That's it. Literally, that's it. Like, you start throwing, like, velocity and fucking other shit in there. Whoa. And, I did okay at, like, electricity. Like, watts and hertz and all that shit.
I don't even think it was that good.
Yeah, but ohms. That's one of the best forms of measurement.
I like bio. That's fine.
Bio was so cool, dude.
Yeah.
I loved bio in high school. I had a lot of fun in that class. My best friend in high school was in it.
The Punnett squares, the, like, probability
of the genetic shit?
Yeah.
I love
dude!
That That shit is fascinating. That's what Colleen does. Colleen knows genetics really well. Yeah, it's really interesting though. Like the Punnett square, like you do like the 9 Punnett squares,
she's
like
next level.
But she's like actually smart. Yeah, you and I have no idea what we're talking about. She knows what's going on. You know what I mean? You and I are literally stopped at Punnett squares. You know what I mean? Like that's the like highest form of genetics we can get to. You know?
Although I will say this, like I was reading something about eye color because I don't know how I was a deep like internet.
Oh yeah, oh dude,
and
story of my life.
I was looking up like eye color and how like yes, you can do the Punnett squares to figure out what color you might have, but now genetics is saying that, like, it could be a combination of, like, things.
Really?
Because I have a weird eye color, which unless you get really close, you don't notice. But I've got a ring of green and then a ring of brown around my pupil.
Really?
And I looked up that. It's a weird genetic, like, mutation that
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a mutation.
Cool.
But they're also like, oh, well, if you have, like, or hair color, it's like you could get a mix. Like, if someone's blonde and brown, you might get somewhere in between.
So, like
that
a dirty
color.
blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I think that's really cool, too. So
right,
like,
yeah.
Dang.
That shit is super fascinating, man. Because, like, and that totally makes sense to me, you know what I mean? Like, Punnett squares are cool, but, like, there's no way you can reduce the human body to Punnett squares, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you can reduce genetic, like, hereditary.
Again, high school bio.
Right, this is true.
Same.
This is
Not
true.
the same.
This is very true. This is very true. But
high
still,
school bio
you know.
101, not the same
No.
as, like, freaking whatever the hell Colleen does.
Yo, dude, that is just otherworldly, man. Like, I see like a fucking practice sheet or whatever. I'm just like, my eyes hurt. Like, fuck that, dude.
Oh, no, well, here's
Get that away from me.
Like, yes, some people are good at, like, the concrete, like, fact sciences and math.
Right.
But some people, like, can't concept the idea that gender is a social construct.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean?
And, like, that was a very extreme example, but it's, like, any abstract thought that isn't based on fact.
Right.
So that's what I'm good at. And
it all depends on how you're wired, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, some people are 100%, I'm with you, like, more socially fucking aware, I guess, than, like, science
and
folk, you know?
Yeah, and it is because, like, oh, this is fact, and that's comfortable to me.
Right.
And I can understand it, versus, like, you know, is there a God?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
right,
where
exactly.
That's my realm of thought.
Right,
like,
right.
I could just lay down and think myself to death about
Yeah,
those things.
seriously, right,
versus,
right.
like, oh, here's a science behind, like, I wonder, though, when you do psychology, are you more in that, like, you know, socially minded, like, this is what someone's going through, like, this is how you make them feel better, versus, like, your brain has this going on in it, and here's, like, where, like, there's a chemical imbalance or something.
Right. So when I think of psych, I think, like, for me, it's about the experiences that somebody has. I'm like a nature and nurture, but not necessarily like the chemical imbalance thing. Like,
okay, so it's more like
for me it's emotion. For me it's emotion based.
Okay.
Instead of necessarily chemically based. I think chemical stuff definitely has merit.
Yeah.
Totally true. Because I took a great class my senior, drugs in the brain. Super cool, but we learned a lot about, like, you know,
the fried egg. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
right?
Like,
exactly. Yeah, like that kind of shit. You know. And I think with certain things that it's totally chemical, but with a lot of things it's totally like mental, emotional, like social sort of constructs kind of shit.
Yeah, I guess what I'm more asking is, like, so if you continue this field of study. Are you doing it, like, less science-based and more...
Correct.
Okay.
For
So it's
me, it
less,
would be...
like, in the... I don't want to say in the lab, but, like, scientific method.
Well, I would be a lot less in the lab.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I would be viewing it. I'm a very, because for me, when it comes to psych, I think everybody's totally different.
Yep.
I don't think you can generalize psychology at all.
No.
You know what I mean? In any way.
Mm-mm.
Like, I understand, like the DSM, throw that away. Burn that shit. I hate that. Like, categorized, like, fucking, like, these 4 symptoms equal this fucking mental disorder. Like, I hate that.
Although,
it's so not true.
I guess it is a basis, though. Like, you could use, like, if they exhibit this, they may have this.
Well, correct. No, exactly.
Okay.
But, like, the way the DSM is lined up is, like, they have this, it is this.
Oh.
Yeah. The DSM is totally fucked up like that. Like, the DSM is, like... Yeah, like, and then, like, another thing, like, for example, in the DSM, like, if, like, to have depression, you need to have 4 out of 7 markers.
Fam.
Dude, right?
Fam, I think my doctor would disagree with all of that.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, like, if I feel like shit, I feel like shit. If I have 2 markers, I feel like shit. It doesn't, I don't need to have 4 markers to feel, like, depressed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like...
It's so stupid. The DSM is flawed in general. Yeah. Also, one of my favorite facts about psychology, Freud made it all up.
Oh my god. Okay, so there's this movie called Into the Void, which I think you might actually like. I hate it, but
I think you'd like it. I fucking hate it.
Oh,
But I think you would like it.
But I don't think you would like it. I think you would hate it the same way I hate it.
Right, but I would like it for what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's how I feel about it. Because it really is, like, all based on Freudian psychology.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh my god, I hate Freud so much. It's all bullshit. But as you watch it, you're like, okay, but if you're going to talk about Freudian psychology, here's a really good example of it. Because it's NSFW. Like, not safe for work. Yeah.
Seriously,
but it was on Netflix for a hot second.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, it's, in terms of, like, technical filmmaking, it's cool. If you have epilepsy, don't watch it. It flashes a lot.
Oh, lots of flashing. Yeah,
lots of flashing. But it's cool in its film form.
Right.
But the ideologies that it portrays, not into.
Really?
So, yeah.
Yeah, my, the best professor I ever had in college, the best psych professor I ever had, rather, because I had a lot of great history professors. Mm-hmm. Best psych professor I ever had at the end of, it's my senior year, it's my spring semester.
So you're done.
This is the end of college for me. Like, I'm, like, fucking really just, like, coasting it in, like, really just throwing in the towel. And at the end of my entire psychological education, he goes, Freud made it all up. And I was like, why did I spend 4 years learning this for the smartest man I know to tell me it's all bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
But honestly, though, the weird thing about Freud is he made it all up, but there is some, like, it has some weird basis.
He's weirdly right.
Exactly. That's the thing that's, like, the weirdest part is, like, he made it all up, but he's not necessarily wrong.
I think my biggest issue with...
Which throws me off.
Yeah, my biggest issue with Freud is his whole... It all relates back to sex. I'm like, fam.
Yeah, bud, listen. I know we all think about sex all the time, but,
all the time, but...
It's not all
It's not
about
all
sex.
about that, yeah. There are other factors that in life, like... Yeah.
Precisely, there's other stressors and
I
stuff.
think to whittle it down to that is incredibly, like...
It's too simplistic.
It's primitive.
Yeah,
almost.
Great way to put it. Yeah,
It's very
I completely
primitive.
agree.
If you want to talk about, like, you know, a chimp or something in the way that they maybe live their life, and if they were to go through some sort of psychological trauma, maybe.
If you're talking about Stone Age humans.
Or anything, like, animalistic like that.
Right.
We have evolved... from there.
Dude, you know what I mean? Like, by the time he's talking about the shit, it's like 1930 onwards, you know what I mean? Like, there's other shit going on in the human life that, like, just really surpasses just sex, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and then again, Freud is wicked old, so
also
his
true.
Theories are a little outdated.
Very outdated. Absolutely, dude. Mm-hmm. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
Like, every girl, like, wants to bang their dad, in Freud's mind.
That's just the weirdest thing.
You know what I mean? It's like, literally, like, but to him it's a fact. It's like, this is what life is, you know? Again,
the basis of that, we can then expand on as humans that are living in 2019, almost 2020, fam.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ.
You know what? I'm excited. New fucking decade. Sign me the fuck up.
Honestly,
I've had it with the early 2000s. It's the roaring 20s.
I was just about to say I'm pretty stoked for the 20s.
I'm here.
You know what I mean, dude? That would be a lot of fun to have it be the 20s again.
Yeah,
you know? like that would be so fucking cool.
I was in my mid-20s.
In the 20s. Yo,
what up?
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like my fucking great-grandmother, dude.
Yeah,
you know?
like...
Fucking, that's the shit I do like.
Yeah.
Bang, bang. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Question for you.
What?
Totally gonna change the subject. Are you okay with that?
Go for it.
BLT Classic.
Okay.
We're about... How many months out now? We're about 3 months out. Game of Thrones Season 8. How do we feel about it? Give me your honest... uncut, raw opinion.
I'm over it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And here's the thing. I think that I can openly admit I did fall into the court of public opinion a little bit.
Uh-huh. I agree.
I stand by all of my statements of, like, the things that did disappoint me. But overall, like, it's just fucking TV.
Oh, wow.
It's just
I like
TV.
that.
And as someone who studies... like, the production and filmmaking and all of that.
Right.
Yes, it does say this, and the writing, you know, from the social aspect, it does say all of the things that people said about, you know, Daenerys' character development, and, like, went back, and it was very basic women characteristics that, like, again, we've evolved past.
Right.
But at the end of the day, no, the way that our society works and how fast we move and how quickly we forget things.
Pick things up and just drop them.
Right.
You know?
Like, Game of Thrones is over.
Who's talked about it since then?
Who's talked about it since then?
Zero people.
No one. Do I think
Zero
that
people.
D&D should continue to go on and, like, have successful careers after this? Maybe not, like, unsuccessful, but they're not, like, the pinnacle of writers anymore. And I think that proved it, and I think that's more on them than it is, like, us as the fans watching it. I think that it was right to call them out on their garbage.
Yep.
But I'm really not upset anymore.
Yeah. That's the thing is, like, so the show for me will still be one of the best shows ever run on television. And season 8 totally sucked.
Yeah. But it's still Game of Thrones,
But it's still
fam.
Game of fucking Thrones, dude. Like, that's like my favorite fucking television series of all time.
It was...
The North fucking remembers, bud.
Yeah,
and I remember,
like,
bud.
It's the kind of thing where I'm like, socially, like, we all kind of shut up and sat down. We didn't shut up. We sat down.
We sat down,
We
yeah.
collectively, not as a society, because there are those people who didn't watch it, but, like, the fans sat down and watched it, and it was a social thing.
Uh-huh.
And people, like... There are, like, now there's a fandom for it. And there's this, like, you know, the idea of the imagined community. There's a community there. So.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little problematic, but it's just TV, fam. Like,
yeah, I agree.
We'll be fine. There will be other shows like that, and, like, I don't know, it has cultural importance, but at the end of the day, it's still just TV, and we're gonna move on. There's more important things than Game of Thrones.
Right. Like, don't get me wrong, man. If the petition actually got them to reshoot season 8, fuck. I'm all for that. But...
That's expensive.
Exactly. Just for a petition. Are you fucking kidding me?
Like, a fan-driven petition. How about you write it and you shoot it, like, you find people and, like...
Can you imagine?
Right. Like, a fan-made one. Like, there are fan-made movies all the time. Why don't you do it?
Right. Exactly, dude. Yeah, I like... Season 8 won't take away, as I said, from what Game of Thrones was for me. I appreciate them trying, because it's hard to close a show that everybody is completely obsessed with, that the source material has run dry for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're adapting the books, and
from
then...
one of the greatest writers of all time.
Exactly, and there's no book for you to adapt for this last season.
Right, it says what D&D are as writers. It
Exactly.
says how they pale in comparison to
George, dude. George, that's what I would have loved if George was in the fucking room for them writing every episode for season 8. You know what I mean? Like, that would have probably made it better. You
and,
know
like,
what I mean?
hats off to George for being such a good sport about everything.
Oh, dude.
And,
you see his, like, Reddit post or whatever? Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, George, fuck you. I love you, dude.
Yeah, I love him.
I just want to give fucking George a fist pound and say, you know what, bud? Go get him.
He's like, you know... My ending's not going to be that different, but he has more characters that he's working with.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing.
His storyline is more complex than what we have on the TV show.
Right.
So, again, I tweeted this like 50 times. If you're really that fucking upset, why don't you read the books?
Yeah, exactly, dude.
And you don't even have to sit there and read it page by page. You can listen to it.
Yeah, right. Precisely, dude. And that's the thing is, like, that's partially probably why it feels so dry. You know what I mean? The season 8 is like, there's just more, George has just more characters. There's just more going on in George's adaptation of the fucking story than D&D's, you know?
Yeah. Which is, you know, again, fine. Like,
exactly. They simplified theirs, and I understand because you have to. It's TV. You can't... The detail in the books, you cannot replicate that in television,
You couldn't even, like... So a TV show is definitely the best medium for a stretched out series.
I've always thought that was so smart, by the way.
Yeah, because you can't make movies out of that.
No, certainly not.
You would...
There would be so much to cut.
Fam, think about how much got cut from the show. Imagine that in movie form.
Dude, you would get the most fucking boring, flat, drab story of all time if that was movies, dude.
I just thought of this, actually. The best movie adaptations are kids' books.
Yep.
Because they're relatively simple.
And you can expand on the kids' book rather than fucking cut out. You know what I mean? Like, fucking... I would rather watch fucking George the Friendly Caterpillar fucking movie than fucking...
I mean, like, I always think about Harry Potter. Yes, they cut out a lot, but for what the movies are, they're really complex movies.
That's actually a great question I have for you. Would you rather have had Harry Potter as a series, or is the movies okay?
The movies are okay.
Okay.
just because of the way the books are written. I wish that, some of the movies...
I've heard the books are kind of fast reads.
Yeah,
if you're
they
a good
are.
reader.
Yeah,
If you're a good
yeah.
reader, they're quick.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, so I read the full series for the first time, 3 years ago, driving Grace down to, not all in one sitting. I didn't read the whole series on
I would be astonished.
I didn't read the whole series in one car ride. That's ridiculous.
That's insane.
Did this stop recording? Yes. But
Evil camera.
Whatever. It's overheating. That's why. Okay, we're gonna turn that off for a second. But yeah, I didn't read it all in one sitting, but I finished 3 books in 2 16-hour drives.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and I was also we were on the beach for a week, so of course I'm reading a little
reading,
bit.
Here and there, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. They're young adult novels, so they are quick reads. They are the kind of book that you start reading when you're 8, and then it gets more complex as you age.
Right.
But yeah.
That's one thing I always thought was really cool about Harry Potter is everybody grew up with it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It started out simple and it aged with everybody. Yeah. It matured with everybody.
I think there are elements that would work with a mini series. So the Marauders, that would be a great mini series. I would watch 8 episodes of that.
Right.
And then you leave it alone because
don't touch it.
It's a small part of a bigger story.
Right.
So if you want to do a short little one-off thing, cool.
Right. I would kind of like to see Harry Potter done in a short series, 2 episodes per book kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, so how long would the episodes be? Because each movie...
Long. You ever watch Sherlock on Netflix?
Yes.
Like that.
Okay, I love the first season of Sherlock.
So good? Oh my god, insane.
I hate the rest of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so don't spoil it. I haven't watched the rest of them. I literally just killed the first season.
Okay, I've only seen the first 3. Or 1, 2, 3. So I haven't seen anything after that.
Okay, yeah, I've seen 1, 2, 3, and I think I started season 2, episode 1.
Okay, so I've seen season 3, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Up to.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I only watched the first season. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. Speaking of, you pick up the rest of the Game of Thrones books, or you haven't even stopped?
I haven't been on that.
Honestly, I'm at this point, I'm just waiting till he comes out with them.
I don't know. I will pick them up again. I haven't really been reading this year. I've been writing and
my reading is severely cut down.
Yeah. But like I said, I've been working on the podcast and working on papers and all of this other stuff.
Right.
I've been doing my own creative ventures. So when I go down that path, I stop reading other people's work so they don't really influence mine.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
I still love reading them and all of that.
Super
and
good.
There will be elements of things that I like in my own work, but it's,
Yeah.
if I stay clear of it, it's better. Although, so if you think back to one of our podcasts, I said that podcasts are good for intellectual mind and then music is emotional. Mm-hmm. I've been on an emotional roller coaster since January.
Oh, yeah?
And I haven't stopped listening to the Beatles and I don't know who I am anymore. Send help.
8 days a week.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. So 2 years ago when I was working at Disney, I was in a real dark place all of a sudden, by no choice of my own. Mm-hmm. My brain was just dark place. And that's when I started listening to them initially because their songs are sad, really sad.
Beatles songs?
Because they're all really sad.
Do you know why?
No.
It's all derived from blues. So I took a history of rock class.
As did I, but I did not get to that point. So please,
really?
Please explain.
Oh, fascinating.
My professor, all he did was talk about how great they are, and didn't really extrapolate on what made them great. He just said, "This is a great song. Learn it." So then, when I quiz you on it, you can name it just by hearing the first note.
See, no, my professor did a great job. He really delved into the bands, their histories, their influences, and everything like that.
Yeah, mine scratched the surface.
Yeah, no, we were supposed to go from 1920s blues until modern music, and we didn't even make it to the 70s.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, good.
In a semester, we didn't even make it to the 70s.
That's a good class though, because we started.
Great professor.
We started with the 50s, and we stopped at the 80s because no one wanted to talk about the 80s. And I'm like, okay, guys, I know it's cheesy, but come on, there's good music there.
Dude, we went all the way back to fucking literally former slaves. It was really cool. It was a really cool class.
I would have loved that. But
it was sorry.
Talk about the blues.
Really cool class. So And actually, the Rolling Stones and the Beatles both had influences in blues.
You can hear it in the Stones.
The Stones is a lot more obvious.
Yeah, that
Absolutely.
one I could have told you.
Yeah, but the Beatles is like all of their inspirations were blues music, like literally like Southern American blues artists. They absolutely fucking loved, that's where all their lyric inspiration came from. The pop kind of music, similar to the Stones, just masked the like wicked depressing lyrics.
So sad. Like Eleanor Rigby, I think, was the song that I like latched on.
Eleanor Rigby makes me want to fucking cry.
It's really sad.
Whenever I hear Eleanor Rigby, I actually get like goosebumps and like tear up a little bit. It's fucking crazy, that song.
You know what? That's funny that's the song I latched onto when I was out in California, because I felt really lonely. And that's
what that song's about, dude.
That song is
that song's about nobody fucking knowing who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It
hits you at home, doesn't it?
Like,
hits you right there. Yeah, like hits you right there.
And then, it's not that I've been sad. I've been listening to sad music.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So gone down that rabbit hole too.
So Lana Del Rey is one of my favorite artists. She has been since
Oh, you've always talked about her.
Since 2012.
Yeah.
So she makes really sad songs too, but she does it in like a, how do I put this properly without like making it sound horrible? She does it in like an aesthetic way. Like it's her choice, not her choice to be sad, but she does it in a way.
For example, she's just great at making music that sounds sad.
Yeah, like she doesn't do it in like to like make it okay. How am I gonna phrase this properly?
She's not like choosing to be sad. She just happens to be really good at making sad music.
She's not romanticizing the idea of being sad. Her music is sad and a little bit on the romantic side.
Because that's where her inspirations come from?
Exactly.
Right. I see what you mean.
She was a jazz singer before she was a pop singer.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is why she's flat constantly. Not that jazz singers are flat, but she is flat because she's a jazz singer.
Right, it's just what she knows. Yeah.
Like her voice is lower.
Right.
So yeah, her songs are sad, and I've been listening to like sad songs about like lost love, and I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah, what's going on here, man?
I don't know, but like, yeah,
what's happening to me?
It's funny that I relate her sad songs to the Beatles' sad songs because you can hear the crossover.
Right.
Especially the song she did with John Lennon's son that I talked about before.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah.
Such a good song. Like, only if you listen to it once, you'll be like, I get why Olivia likes this song.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Music is wild, man. Really drives you crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking, and one thing, I don't know if you really give a shit, but Slipknot came out with a new album.
That's not my jam, but I'll listen to it. I'll listen to what you have to say.
Actually surprisingly good. I was nervous. Like, dude, like, up until it came out, I was, like, shaking in my boots, like, fucking cold sweats, waking up, and fucking, like,
That's a lie.
Like, just, you get up in the middle of the night, like, fucking, looking around, what's going on? There's a demon in my room. But fucking, it is actually surprisingly really good. Is
it, like... So I don't know much about Slipknot, so do they do like concept albums and stuff? Like, do they tell stories with their music? Like, or is it like So it's more so... Does it fall under the category of shock rock like Alice Cooper did?
No.
He's not a weirdo, but his music is weird.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So this is my personal opinion, so don't take it as true fact.
Okay.
I've noticed throughout, and I've been listening to Slipknot for literally eternity, like since like 6th or 7th grade, like they've been my favorite band. That kid with the Slipknot shirt and the long hair and the like weird puka shell necklace. Yep, that was me. Okay. Yep. Hands raised. They are all social commentary. It's always been social commentary.
As like, most music is.
Right, but it's like, it's more so like, it's hard to explain. It's like, they really go after like the norm. Like, it's like, what makes this the norm? Like, why is this okay? Like, who fucking set this as the standard? And like, how, like, this is how I feel different from the standard.
Sounds you know like me thinking myself to death on any random day.
Seriously, dude. But it's really, the new album's really good. I was really surprised at how it is, because the lyrics, like, the way it's written sounds like old Slipknot, which is really cool. But the music being played sounds like new Slipknot. Like, so a lot of people, All Hope Is Gone came out in like 2008, and that's where a lot of people draw the line.
Can you explain the musical styles of old Slipknot and new Slipknot? Because I don't have a basis.
So old Slipknot is literal anger.
Okay.
Like straight up anger. Like it's just like the people like beating the shit out of their instruments, like just like sounding as mad as they can, as fast as they can, and as pissed off as they can. Mm-hmm. And then after All Hope Is Gone, which is it was like their 5th album. They started thinking about the music itself, like getting like clever and like, you know, really like trying to like sound good.
Okay.
They like matured in the sense of like they're musicians now. They're not just mad 20-somethings. They're like actual like all they do is practice and play and fucking really think about what they're playing. So it's like old angry Slipknot with like new Slipknot technicality, like musical strength.
That sounds amazing.
It's so good, dude. It's really good, and like a lot of the Slipknot members were like, "Yeah, no, we're back to the old school stuff. We sound like we used to." And it's like they don't, but it's still fucking good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they don't know what it is, but it's good. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff. Because if you listen to like. And I was doing this, like, today, actually. I was listening to, like, an old, like, literally, like, first album, like, self-titled album, and then the new album, like, literally switching off songs. And the lyrics sound right on par, but the instrumental stuff, so different. It's really fascinating.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll try to give you a good stark difference, like, you know, at some point soon.
Okay. Yeah, because it's, again, not really my thing. I appreciate metal for what it is, but it's not like I'm not going to go out.
You're, like, the only person, so thank you.
Like, people just don't get it. I'm like, it's just another type of music. Like,
yeah, I fucking love it, man. It's so good.
Like, I don't freaking, like, I guess metal is the best version. I'm like, I don't love it, but if someone wants to talk about it, like, yeah, I'll listen.
Oh, I love it, dude. Yeah.
Especially because it is technical to play that fucking fast.
Dude, you know what I mean? Like, I come for, like, so, like, metal fires me up. I come for the firing up, and I stay for the technicality, like, the skill, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and then also,
insane.
sometimes you catch, like, a lyric on the off chance you can understand them. That's where I, like, kind of lose it. I'm like, I get it.
And I don't blame people. That's so off-putting. I totally get that.
Yeah, there's a song by a band that I used to love, Motionless in White.
Oh, yeah.
They sampled a Morrissey song, which I didn't know at the time. It's the line, "I am human and I need to be loved," which is in How Soon Is Now by the Smiths, which is one of my current favorite bands.
Oh, really?
Yes. Again, sad songs. I love sad songs.
I'm telling you, man.
But, so when I was sad and depressed in high school, that was what I latched on to. And I was like, oh, like, I came because I was angry, but this is what I'm feeling.
Yeah,
like,
right, yeah. It's there's emotion in it, man.
Yeah. Like,
it's not just yelling, you know? I love it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, like, you gotta take the time to understand things, and it applies to all aspects of your life. It's not just music. It's like...
That's the thing, is like, when it comes to music, I really like trying to listen to lyrics. Like, when it's like a new genre or a new type of music, or like, you know, a new song or whatever it is that comes out, the first thing I listen for is lyrics. And see if it, like... So, maybe not popular opinion, but every time I hear an Ariana Grande song, it sounds like just a girl bitching about nothing.
There are some songs that I think are really good. Like, Break Up With Your Boyfriend, or Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored is hysterical. That's just funny. And I can totally get behind it because it's a pop song and sometimes it's fun. And you do feel that sometimes where you're like, break up with her, I'm bored.
Yeah, I
feel that.
Right.
But then there's songs like one of my favorites, which is Good Night and Go, where it's like, oh, like, we have a good time together, but why the fuck won't you do anything?
Right.
You know what, just say goodnight and go.
Yeah,
like, I'm done. Like, I can't
I'm all set. Yeah.
So, yes, it is a pop song, but there is a technical aspect to Ariana Grande as well, because if you really, like, take her poppy lyrics out of it, that's so fucking layered because she does so many fucking harmonies on there. I think she's
very talented.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I think Ariana Grande is more talented than her, like, song lyrics fucking say. That. You know what I mean? Like, she is technically gifted. She's a beautiful singer. Yeah. She has a wonderful voice. She can hit every single note at all, ever.
Yeah.
You know, you put this on a page, like, Ariana, hit that. She's like, okay. I mean,
she's hitting fucking whistle tones. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like,
you can really fuck up your throat by doing that, and she does it like whatever.
Like, it's no problem, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking incredible. And that's part of what, like, not pisses me off, because I don't get that upset about it, but, like, that's part of what, like, bothers me is, like, you're a gifted artist. Why are you wasting your lyrics on bullshit? That's just my personal opinion.
I think that it comes from, one, sometimes you just need a fun song.
Hey, fuck.
Or the money is in the pop songs.
Well, yeah.
The money is in the shit that they want to play on the radio.
I completely agree.
It's not, like, because she could very well be in musical theater, and that's what her background is, and she's amazing at it.
Right.
But there's very little money in it.
Yeah. I completely agree. You know who I think does both very well? Like, actually, I listen to the lyrics and I enjoy them, but also she's, like, poppy and very fucking good. Lizzo, bud.
Oh, I love her.
I love Lizzo, dude.
Yeah.
Lizzo is, like, so fucking smart, funny, intelligent.
We do not deserve her in the top 40. I'm like, oh, what did we do to deserve you? You're amazing.
She's insane.
So the first time I heard her, the only thing I could really compare her to was Bruno Mars, but I was like, she's better than Bruno Mars, because while she's bringing in all of those, like, disco 70s R&B elements, she's making super positive music. Whereas, like, Bruno Mars is, like, money, bitches, sex.
Yeah.
Again, I appreciate it every once in a while.
Right.
Like Uptown Funk is a fucking
I was just about to say, man, Uptown Funk every once in a while, man.
Bop,
I love that shit.
But you then take Lizzo, who makes a bop, and then she puts out a song like Good as Hell, or like, what's the other one? Juice, or fucking Truth Hurts. Why men great till they gotta be great? Like,
yeah, right? Yeah. She's very just... If you listen to her lyrics, it's intelligent. You know what I mean? Like, there's layers in there, man. Yeah. There's she's got something to say, you know?
She does. Her Twitter is amazing. I should really follow her, but people that I follow like her tweets, so I always like see what she's tweeting.
Oh, really?
She's awesome. Yeah.
I honestly want to get a Twitter just for that.
Incredibly humble as well.
Really?
Yeah, because the Jonas Brothers are on tour right now, and they played one of her songs like in the arena before the show went on. The entire stadium was singing. She's like, what?
Wow. Yeah. No way.
Yeah, so
good for her. That's when you know you fucking made it, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're like in the in-betweeners for another band, and everybody in the stadium is singing your song.
Yeah, and it's not even like she's performing. It is
right,
literally
exactly.
Recorded.
It's just like on the it's like on the proverbial radio, you know what I mean? Like, they're just throwing it in there for filler, you know? That's insane. Good for her. She deserves all of the credit that she's ever gotten. And she's brilliant.
And she was humble about it. That's the big thing, too, where she was like, wait, what? Like,
she's brilliant, yeah. She's a very great artist. See anything good on Netflix recently?
No, because the last time I turned on the TV or anything like TV, I was cleaning my room, so I was watching X-Files and Ancient Aliens.
Well, both great choices.
Great choices.
Right.
But nothing new. I don't know. I just haven't wanted to watch TV. I was laughing to myself because I was thinking about how, like, I haven't watched TV since Game of Thrones. I'm like, did it disappoint me that much? Or did I just not want to watch TV?
Dude, that's the thing. Okay, so I know I've said
I'm exhausted from Game of Thrones.
I know I've said it a million times, man. You need to watch Westworld.
I know.
Dude.
Well, wait. When does the new season come out? Because
2020.
Okay, so I have some time.
You've got time. Because
you blew through it, and I don't want to wait.
I know. I was going to wait until the third. So for me, like, when it comes to anything that's on, like, any sort of streaming website of any kind, it needs to have 3 seasons before I can even consider it.
Yeah.
Okay? And Westworld only has 2. I started it. The first episode hooked me. I think I was with Colleen, actually, and she, like, threw it on. She was like, let's try this. She threw it on, and I was like, so I'm going to watch 5 episodes right now.
So what I heard is that it's better than Game of Thrones. Do you stand by that? Or
so
they're very different, or they're different enough?
They're very different, and they're both incredible. I personally feel like people are saying that because of their...
I heard about it before the end of Game of Thrones, though.
Oh.
Like, when it first premiered, I had a kid in my class be like, it's better than Game of Thrones.
So he's a real fan, then, of Westworld. That's a real Westworld fan.
Season 1, he was like, it's better than Game of Thrones. Like, everyone should be watching this. Like, Game of Thrones is still great. He was still a fan. But he was like, I think it's better.
So... Here's the thing is Westworld, if you think Game of Thrones has layers, holy shit, Westworld has layers, bud.
I'm gonna be exhausted.
Like, I know, that's the thing is Westworld takes it out of you. Like, Westworld has layers within Westworld, and then it has, like, metaphorical layers outside of Westworld that apply to your life.
It's why I can't watch Black Mirror, because I'm tired.
Exactly, dude, exactly. I know exactly what you mean. But, so, Game of Thrones, for me, is, like... all I've ever wanted in a television series because it's like fucking medieval, it's fucking
fantasy,
honor based, it's like fucking all that shit. But Westworld makes you think about your life. Westworld it's different.
Okay.
It's not game and you'll know what I mean. Like once you do finally watch it, is like it's just a different television series.
Okay.
Game of Thrones is like.
People just compare them because they're on HBO.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how you hit the nail on the head right there. Like, people only ever compare those two because they're both HBO fucking shows.
Well, like, that's so weird because HBO used to do, like, kid shows. Like, that's the dumbest thing before they really had, like, we're gonna corner, like, the adult market of TV shows.
That's like comparing Dragon Ball Z to fucking like SpongeBob. It's like no,
very different.
Just
shows.
Like it's just
they're
so
both
different.
Just happen to be animated.
Exactly.
Both just animated, but they're very different.
Exactly, man. That's 100. I 100% agree with you in that way. You know, people only compare them because they're both HBO shows. They're different. They're both good, and they make you feel different things.
Okay.
Like Game of Thrones is like. Honor and love and turmoil and
exciting fantasy.
Exactly. Okay. Whereas Westworld is like, holy shit, am I actually like alive right now? Like, am I a human? Am I, you know?
I already don't identify as a human.
Exactly,
so,
dude.
I'm already like, what? Like, yeah, what am I?
Yeah, right. Precisely. Westworld makes you think about yourself. Game of Thrones makes you just like, you just enjoy Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's a good way to put it. Game of Thrones, you enjoy the ride. Westworld makes you think.
Yeah, I think that they made Game of Thrones seem way deeper than it truly was.
I agree.
I think that's why people were so upset. And I don't think that they're wrong in saying that there's layers to Game of Thrones because everything has layers.
Everything has layers, yeah.
Ogres have layers. Onions have layers.
Exactly.
But like... yeah, there's layers to everything you do. I'm sorry, I had to throw a shrug.
That was so funny.
But yeah, like, there's always layers, but some things go out, and their goal is to make you think about things, whereas if you're someone like me, who just happens to think about things.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
I don't think that D&D ever sat down and were like, we're going to change the world with this one.
Yeah, no, exactly. They were like, how can we make this fantasy fucking cool and come to life on the screen? Whereas, like, the people who are sitting in the Westworld boardroom are like, how can we make people think about their fucking lives?
Yeah, it's like Twilight Zone, kind of, where it's, like, made to make
you
think.
Dude, it's literally like Twilight. It's a great comparison. It's literally like Twilight Zone in that way.
Twilight Zone.
You know what's disappointing? I'm disappointed in myself because I've never, like, ever actually watched an original episode of Twilight Zone. I haven't watched Twilight Zone, period, with the Jordan Peele.
Oh, that's the new one.
Right. I haven't watched that, but I haven't even watched the old school one. They
fucked up with that. CBS royally fucked up, and I hope you execs are fucking listening to me.
Why?
They didn't put it on TV. You have to pay for their streaming service to watch it. That is a gigantic disservice to Jordan Peele.
Oh my god, dude. Come on.
I would love to watch it. I really like him. I think he's a great writer and director.
I think he's brilliant. Yeah.
I think he's brilliant, but I'm not paying for the CBS streaming service to watch The Twilight Zone when I can watch the original one on fucking Hulu.
Exactly, dude. Wait, the original one's on Hulu?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
It's on both Netflix and Hulu.
What? The duo? Mm-hmm. No way.
Because I searched... What did I search? What did I want to watch? Oh, I wanted to watch Crimson Peak, which is Guillermo del Toro's last movie, because he's supposed to be writing the script for the new Haunted Mansion film to erase the Eddie Murphy monstrosity. I could talk about that because I rewatched it because it was the 50th anniversary of like the ride in Disneyland being a thing.
Is that like widely known as bad? The Eddie Murphy ones?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like here's the thing, it had potential. Which and again, that movie came out when I was 8. So I enjoyed it.
I've only literally seen it one time.
Right. Yeah. And you enjoyed it because you're 8, whatever.
I was very young, yeah.
And then I rewatched it, like, this past week, because I was like, oh, it's the 50th anniversary. Like, what is so truly bad about it? Because, like, I'm just part of the Disney community, and I see that people are like, yeah, it was bad. It had potential. There was a really good story there. The reason they messed up is because they had Eddie Murphy play himself, whereas I don't think he's a bad actor.
Certainly not.
Like, if they had given him a character, like an actual character, not just himself and his like stand-up style of comedy, it would have been great. Because they kind of, so Haunted Mansion is supposed to play, or the like backstory of the Haunted Mansion is supposed to be like 1800s, and they kind of, it takes place in Louisiana, so they kind of danced around this Civil War like mixed race couple story. 2003, Disney's not touching it.
Yeah.
Now they might tackle it. But, yeah, they danced around with that idea a little bit. And I was like, oh, there's potential here. But why is Eddie Murphy just, like, making bad Eddie Murphy jokes?
Really?
Yeah. Again, I would say if it's on...
See, that's the worst.
If it's on ABC Family, I would say watch it so you could know what I'm talking about.
The worst is when you, like, write a movie for an actor instead of writing a movie and having an actor that works.
Well, here's the thing, because it's compared to Pirates of the Caribbean because they're both Disneyland attractions that got turned into movies.
Right.
And the big difference, and they came out within a year of each other. And
Did they really?
Yeah.
Fuck, you're right. You're so right. You're so right.
So the big, and the funny thing is the rides both open 2 years apart. So, yeah, those two, Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean, as entities are, like, really tied together, both in backstory of the attractions and, like, their production and everything, which I could spend an entire episode talking about.
You could write a paper on it.
I could write a paper on it, but it's more of a history lesson than, like, a analytical thing.
Right.
Anyway, so, where was I going? Oh, Johnny Depp versus Eddie Murphy is where I was going. Johnny Depp is a character actor. He takes on these crazy characters, and they don't always work. But
he's good. He is good at playing like a character,
right?
You know.
So they had Johnny Depp play a character and Eddie Murphy play himself.
Right.
If Johnny Depp was playing Johnny Depp, it wouldn't fucking be Pirates. And I will say this about putting those two in a movie form: Haunted Mansion has some very distinct characters in the ride. So any reference you make to that ride is super heavy-handed, whereas Pirates of the Caribbean is super vague when you go on it.
Dude!
And they don't have any true distinct characters until they added in Barbossa and Johnny Depp into the ride.
Right,
so they could play around with the Elizabeth character and the Will Turner character, and that was their own thing.
Right.
Whereas Haunted Mansion, you have Constance, you have Madame Leota, you have, like, Master Gracie... And they kind of butchered, like, what the mansion is, too. Like, so, it's weird, but it was what it was.
Right. That's fascinating, dude.
And I'm so excited for you to go see these rides.
I know!
Well, here's the thing. So, Pirates of the Caribbean in Walt Disney World is not as good as Disneyland. Because...
Why?
Okay, so you're missing the first, like, chunk of the ride because you can't really do 2 drops in Florida. Because if you go down in Florida, you hit water.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go down in in California, you hit dirt, so you can put your own water in there. So that's where that comes from. But the mansion in Walt Disney World has 2 extra scenes that Disneyland doesn't have.
Really?
Yeah. So there's give and take. Like, although I think that, both rides in California are perfect.
Of course.
But that's just because that's where they start. That's their original.
Yeah, and you're Disneyland diehard, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
But I think the facade of Disneyland is better as well, because that's the Louisiana-style mansion versus the New England-style mansion. Like, it looks like it got pulled out of Newport.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's cool. Like, it makes sense with the theming of, like, Liberty Square, which is where Haunted Mansion is in Florida.
Right.
But there's just something about the fact that those 2 rides are so deeply ingrained in each other in history and backstory and production. To put them on opposite ends of the park feels like a complete disservice. to what they were trying to do in California.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, because they are. That's like literally one of the few things I do know about Disney World is they're just opposite ends of the spectrum there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Other sides of the park.
I'm so excited for Bill to go to Walt Disney World.
Dude, I can't wait.
We're not going together, and therefore it's a problem, but it's probably better that Grace is going to be your tour guide and not me, because I won't shut up. You'll be like, enough. That's just enough of the history.
Dude, it's going to be a really good time, and honestly, I'm just excited to fucking be there, dude.
Yeah. You're going to have so much fun. I think you're going to love Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. You think?
It's Africa.
Yeah. Last time I went to Animal Kingdom, though, it wasn't great.
It's so much better now. Like, because...
I feel like you're so right.
Yeah.
They've had so much time to figure it out.
And not for nothing. So, the thing that makes Animal Kingdom so great is that the other parks are all, like, over... Hollywood Studios just turned 30 this year. So, they're all, like, kind of outdated. Whereas Animal Kingdom, like, it's just about the animals. You can't really, you can't outdate nature.
Right,
like, just
that's
fucking try.
Nature's nature, bud. Yeah. You're not beating that one.
No, and Dinosaur is an amazing ride. It makes me laugh every time I go on it. The script is hysterical. Like, I don't want to tell you anything about it other than I think it's funny. And Grace...
Are there any characters on it, or...?
In Dinosaur, yes. There's Dr. Seeker, which narrates your entire journey. And he... has the dumbest lines I've ever heard, but they're hysterical. They're hysterical because they're so stupid.
Right. I got you.
But yeah, like the roller coaster Expedition Everest is amazing. Like it's a great park. It's very underrated park.
Okay, all right. Mm-hmm. Now,
plus they have a baby hippo.
Oh, do they really?
Baby hippo on the safaris, and a baby elephant.
Oh,
they're really cute.
Not fair. Mm-hmm. Too cute. That's so not fair, man.
Yeah.
Baby hippos and baby elephants are both very cute.
Baby hippos look like they just put on a lot of lotion.
Yep,
they're
seriously,
just so slimy looking.
Right? Absolutely, dude. They're just fucking rolling around in their own slime. Yeah. Man. It's fucking beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Animal Kingdom's so good. I'm so excited. I'm going in like 45 days, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Down in Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
It's from September 30th to...
Because you're going in October, right?
Yeah. I'm going for the Halloween party, so... You guys might be there for a Christmas party, which...
In November?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because their Christmas season is, like, the second Halloween is over. It's Christmas, like through January, like, 7th or something like that.
No way.
Yeah. When I was working there, I was like, so I left January 7th, and I was so ready to get away from Christmas. I was like, it's been Christmas since the very beginning of November. Actually, no, I went to a Halloween party with Rebecca on October 24th, and they put the snow on the castle, and I was like, fam.
Dude, come on.
I've also said fam like 6 times in this episode, so please take a shot every time I've said it.
Great idea. Take a shot every time Olivia says fam. Yep.
I was like, guys, come on.
Seriously, come on, man. That's not
it's a lot, but I get why. It's so that people can visit whenever they like is convenient for them, and they can then have their celebration. So instead of everyone celebrating Christmas on that one day, which I'm gonna be there for that too. Oh God!
Are you going to land or?
No, we're going to World both times because Grace is down there, and my mom's not gonna let Grace like celebrate Christmas alone. Right. So, and I can't resist. My idea was like, I'm gonna go in October. Because I can't not go in October. Right. My favorite time of year. And Absolutely. They have some of the best Halloween celebrations.
It is the best time of year. October's the greatest month.
Yeah. Like, it's just the best. But Absolutely. Disney puts on some of the best Halloween celebrations ever. And I'm not big into, like, the haunts or, like, something super scary. I'm like, I want to go, like, have some fun and, like, watch the Hocus Pocus Castle show.
Yeah, drink some pumpkin beer, you know?
Yeah, like, that's my kind of thing. So that's why I want to go to there. And that was just, like, I was going to go, like, me and a friend, if I could find someone. No one wanted to come because it's expensive.
It is
fair.
Expensive.
It's totally fair.
Yeah.
So
Disney really robbed.
Yeah. So then my mom ended up being like, "Oh, we'll go for the week." So that's how I ended up going in October, and then it's Christmas because we're not celebrating Christmas by ourselves.
Right. Yeah.
So I'll be there from hopefully, if I can get the time off work, December 24th to January 2nd.
Wow!
I bought an annual pass because we picked those days, so it was like,
might as well
use it.
So. Right? Seriously, dude. Mm-hmm. When does the annual pass reset?
I bought it in June, but
so I won't. June?
So I won't activate it until October. So it'll go through to October
of next year.
Yeah. However, if all goes according to plan, I'll be in California, so I'll be in Disneyland, and that's when I'll buy another annual pass.
Hey, there you go, man. Fucking right, dude.
Because I can't ever work there again.
Yeah.
I'll lose my mind. I also I have
too
many opinions to work in a Disney park.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Dude.
Yeah.
Too much going on.
Too much, but yeah. So. I think we're gonna call it. Do it a quick episode, unless you have something else you want to talk about.
Nothing I can think of.
Yeah.
No.
This is actually one of our shorter episodes. It's an hour.
Wow, we actually hit the hour mark.
Yeah.
No shit.
It's because we didn't have a topic, and we're like, let's just blow through all these topics.
Let's just talk. Let's just chit chat.
So, well, I'm like thinking of like scheduling in my head, and I'm like, we should do every other week, but I'm like trying to think about when we should do hot ones because football season is coming up.
Football season.
I know. Like the last, I don't know what that was.
My brother's literally screaming upstairs right
Probably. The last 4 months of the year are the best, like, part of the year. So
Absolutely.
Like, heck yeah.
100%.
But we should definitely do, like, a football theme. That's when Jonathan should join us. Hot ones.
That is, God, great idea.
The wings go from mild to just hotter. Although with me, it's probably, like, mild to, like, slightly less.
Slightly less mild,
I like spicy food, but there's, like, a limit. I don't want to, like, not be able to think.
Right. I do.
Oh, okay.
I want to not be able to breathe.
I know.
So I'll do the hard
My other thing is I'm currently not eating meat right now, so I gotta find like, a vegetarian version of the wings. For me. Yeah.
You're not eating meat right now? Good for you, though. It's good for you.
Yeah. No,
I just literally can't do it.
No, I know. Like, I like it. It just makes me feel sick, so I'm like, I'm tired of feeling sick.
Yeah.
So.
I just love meat.
I know you do.
It's meat.
I know.
Can't beat it. Can't beat the meat, bud.
Yeah, so I gotta find a vegetarian version of chicken and then make
Well,
it.
you know what's, I have these, actually I have them upstairs. There's these great veggie patties that are chicken.
Oh, they're chickpea.
They're like, no, they're like chicken flavored. Like it's like chicken, like it's like a whole chicken patty, but it's veggies. It's all veggie.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I think you'd like them, actually.
Yeah, I gotta look up what Jenna and Julian did because they're both vegan, and so they did hot ones with like their version.
That's a brilliant idea. Yeah.
I gotta look up what they did.
Yeah,
so.
definitely a good idea.
Douse it in some hot sauce.
Fuck yeah, dude! Yeah. I'm so in, dude.
The real question is, do we get the last dab from hot ones, which is like 2 million on the Scoville scale?
Is it really?
Oh, it's high.
That sounds horrible. I'll so try it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, my mom we're going to make this longer than an hour, maybe. So, my mom made chicken wings, like, in fucking whatever month it was. It was a winter month. And she put extra hot Frank's Red Hot and then black pepper on top of it.
Wow. She's a serial killer.
Hot. And I was like,
oh my God.
Like, now that I think about it, I'm like, am I going to be okay if we do really hot sauce?
Jesus, dude. Is she trying to kill you?
Well, then she made it amazing because she's like, we need to tone this down. Oh, I know. We're going to drizzle honey on it. And I was like, fuck, this is amazing.
Yeah, it sounds great, actually.
It was really good.
The honey really taking it down a couple notches. That sounds fantastic.
Because then it was spicy and sweet and savory. It was like,
all at the same time? Damn. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I was like, why the black pepper? She's like, oh, it was part of the recipe, which she has like 30 million recipes for wings.
Right.
Because my mom makes the best buffalo wings ever.
Facts. Yeah, she does make some great wings.
Yeah. So I was like, all right.
Well. Her wings are top dollar.
Yeah. One can only hope to replicate them in any way.
Seriously, dude.
Yeah.
I'm always shooting for the sherry wings.
Yeah, football season. So soon. It's like almost pumpkin season and spooky season.
I know.
Football season.
Literally the best time of the year.
The best time of year. And holidays? I'm sorry. Like what?
Like, come on. Like, what?
What? All right, so I think we should. Now we're calling it. But we will do hot ones, I promise. We just gotta work it out and find out a way because I don't really feel like making chicken wings.
Once we get the logistics down.
Yeah.
I'm definitely down to. I would love to actually make the wings themselves.
Yeah, and then
because Jonathan's a great cook too. Him and I'll take care of it.
Okay.
And then we'll do it all together.
And then we gotta come up with like questions, not actual like hot questions, but hot wings, mild questions.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
That'll be fun.
Damn right.
All right, cool. Thank you guys for watching
Much obliged.
listening, And, yeah, I think we have a couple of new people as well, so thank you for joining us.
I appreciate it.
Because the TV show one, everyone likes to quiz themselves on TV shows.
Who doesn't?
So
you know what I mean?
Got, for us, 14 views is high across
Whoa!
the board, so it was like, dang.
No
right.
shit,
yeah.
dude.
All right.
Wow, look at us. We're exploding.
Next thing you know, trending page.
Fucking right. You know it. We're at the front page, baby. Fucking right.
Man. With 20 views, we're on the front page.
Exactly. Damn right, dude.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.